Okay, so what we have here is we have a color wheel. Now, a color wheel has to be in a very specific order, and it's always in the same order. And there's a reason for this. The reason is that it goes primary, secondary, primary, secondary, primary, secondary. Primary colors are used to make the secondary colors. What we're going to do to start this project is we're going to make a color wheel. We're going to color it in. I've already got it labeled for you. And you're going to fill in the primary colors first. Now we're using these watercolor paints, which is actually paint that I get by soaking out the ink from old markers. And if you want to know how to do that, you can check out my video on my channel. So first, just fill in the primary colors and fill it in nicely, neatly. And when we clean out these paints, we're not going to use water because we don't want to water down our paints anymore. So we're going to just use a wipe, a baby wipe, or you could use a wet towel. And we're just going to squeeze the paint out. Just squeeze it out. And you're not pulling on the brush at all because you don't want to pull the brush apart. Just wipe it and squeeze out that paint. All right, now I'm going to move to the next primary color. But be careful, I'm going to watch my words. And I draw a nice skinny line on the edge. Go to my next primary color after I've rinsed out my brush, wiped out the color, which is red. Being careful, watching my words, where it goes, so it goes in the right place. Using the skinny side of my brush to get right to the edge. And because we want to make sure it's red and not pink, might need to go over it again. Now we're going to move on to the secondary colors. What you might have noticed here is that there are no secondary colors available to you because we are going to actually mix these. If you're working with a partner, we are each going to add 5 drops of each of the primary colors. So here we've got yellow and blue. So we're going to mix yellow and blue to get green because green is in the middle. So we're going to do 5 drops of yellow. So I dip and I just put a drop in. Dip, drop, that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the other color I need, and I be sure I clean my brush each time, it's blue. Scrape off the drop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you're working with a partner, your partner would also put 5 drops of yellow and 5 drops of blue so that there would be enough paint for both of you. And then stir it around. And what do we have in there? Got green. And if you aren't sure, you just test it right there on the side. And we've got green, and we would put green right there with the green. And we would paint in the green neatly and completely into the green wedge of our color wheel. Excellent. Now we're going to move on to what blue and red make purple. So 5 dots of blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 drops of red, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mix. We'll test. Oh, that's purple. And mix it in. We have a perfect purple. And we've mixed it ourselves. The last one I'm going to do is orange. We get orange by mixing what? Red and yellow. So, how many drops? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remembering to wash out my brush each time. And how many drops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mix it up. Test. Yep, that's a beautiful orange. As you can see here, my red has darkened up as it dried because I put 2 layers on, so it looks great. Over it twice, and there is my color wheel. You're going to make sure that you have your name and class code written right here on the front, and then we're going to put that away on the drying rack and leave it until next week. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do for next week so that you can be getting ideas throughout the week of what you want to do with this color wheel, because we're going to transform this color wheel into something else besides just a color wheel. So the first thing we're going to do for this next step is cut out our color wheels and write your name on the back, because they all look the same and I don't want you to lose yours while we are creating the image that it's going to sit in. Now once you've decided what image it's going to sit in, go ahead and trace it and then start drawing in everything else that is going to create that environment your color wheel is sitting in. So my color wheel is going to be a hot air balloon, so I've traced it, I colored in the hot air balloon, I colored in the little landscape. And then you're going to trace all of your pencil lines into Sharpie lines. So trace all of those lines with a Sharpie. This will help define everything, make the image a lot clearer, and it really helps when we color things in with paint. And then we're going to paint in, and we're going to use these liquid watercolors that we've extracted from markers, and we're painting it in. So if you need to remember how to paint a secondary color, because I'm only giving you the primaries, you've got your color wheel right there. So if you want a color, you just look at your color wheel and see what its neighbors are, mix those two together, and there is how you make it. So this lesson is all about color mixing. Remember to wipe out your cup so that you can mix new colors if you need to. Now I am going in super duper fast forward mode here, but of course I would want you to paint in neatly and completely, and to take your time to really paint everything in really well. And after you're done painting it all in, make sure you get all the little details. Then you're going to take liquid glue bottle, and you're going to glue your color wheel into its new environment. And there you're done. And now we have a camouflaged color wheel.